Hello, I'm Troy. This is Marks on TV, and today I'm talking about the first two episodes of Amazon's The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Spoilers ahead, so be wary. Before we begin, please consider liking the video, leaving a comment about your opinions on the most expensive television show in history, and subscribing to the channel. Now, on with the show. After watching the first two episodes of Amazon's The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, my opinion can be summed up in 6 words. It was better than I expected. I'll give a real quick synopsis of what happened so far. The story's fragmented into 3 and sometimes 4 or 5 areas. Firstly, we're with Galadriel, who took over as commander of an army after Sauron, who took over after Morgoth, basically Middle-earth Satan, was defeated and then killed Galadriel's older brother. Everyone except Galadriel believes that Sauron is defeated, and Galadriel's gonna push on to find him, even if it means putting everyone in mortal danger. Well, her troops eventually give up on her after a century or two, and the head elf, Gil-galad, says that they're all good to go back to Valinor, which is basically Middle-earth heaven, where the elves came from. Galadriel is on a ship about to enter Valinor, and decides, nah, I've got a gut feeling, and dives right into the middle of the damn ocean to paddle her ass back to Middle-earth. You know, as you do. Conveniently, a raft comes by with people who save her. Their ship got wrecked by a sea worm. Well, the worm comes back and takes them all out, except for one mildly handsome guy who saves Galadriel again, and they get picked up by a Númenórean ship. Meanwhile, an elf named Arondir is part of a group tasked with keeping an eye on a town full of descendants of humans that fought alongside Morgoth. There's some heavy-handed racism references going on here. Arondir is also in love with a single mother in town named Bronwyn. The elf guard gets called back by Gil-galad, but Arondir hears of poison grass nearby and sees black goop coming out of a cow's udder, so he goes to investigate. An entire nearby town was burned down with no bodies because they were seemingly taken through an underground tunnel by something. Giant groundhogs, maybe? Arondir goes down to find out what did this and ends up being taken by orcs. Meanwhile, Bronwyn goes home where her son has part of what was apparently Sauron's sword. This has, I guess, attracted an orc to them, and together, Bronwyn and her son slay the orc, so now that the town sees the orc's head, they finally believe that they're in danger. Meanwhile, in some wooded area live the Harfoots, because Amazon doesn't own the rights to use hobbits. Nori Brandyfoot is super curious and mischievous, and her friend Poppy Proudfellow tries to keep her out of trouble. Everyone sees a shooting star hit the ground one night, and the two Harfoots investigate. It's a dirty old man that was in the shooting star. He can't speak, and Nori tries to help him out. He eventually uses some kind of magic on lightning bugs to say that he's looking for other stars. This is clearly a wizard, which are basically Middle-earth angels in flesh, and some are guessing that it's Gandalf. Back to the elves, where Gil-galad says that he knows that Sauron is still out there, and he sent Galadriel away because she may actually be helping him grow stronger and spread. How? Don't know. But he also asks Elrond to work with the elven smith Celebrimbor on a special project. Is this project the Rings of Power? Nope, it's a tower, stove, thingy. But this will eventually be used to make the Rings of Power. Elrond says that they need help from the dwarves, and he goes to recruit their help. They don't welcome him in, and come to find out, he pissed off Prince Durin IV by basically ghosting him for 20 years. They somewhat make up. Elrond meets Durin's family, and Durin says that he'll talk to his father, the king, about helping Elrond. King Durin III discusses this all with his son, and then looks at something glowing in a box. What's in the box? Don't know, but it's 100% not the Rings of Power. Who else is watching? Please leave a like, a comment, please consider subscribing to the channel, and share this around with everyone you know. I've been Troy, and thanks for joining me today on Marks on TV.